Right, so for today's video, we have some jewelry drama where a jewelry brand that I'm assuming the majority of people watching this video has heard of before is receiving a lot of backlash. And it's all kind of started from this TikTok account right here called mangomoniica with 700,000 followers. And Monica has uploaded a number of videos around this situation that have all went incredibly viral. I mean, we can see here in this pinned video, 6.2 million views. And if we go through the rest, there's like 2.5 million, 1.5 million, 1.1 million, 3.4 million. These are all separate videos, right? So we're talking like 10 to 20 million views looking at this situation just on Monica's page. And considering these videos are pretty negative towards the brand that we're going to be talking about, you can imagine there was a lot of backlash because of this. Now, the brand we're talking about here is Van Cleef. Again, probably a brand that most people, I'd imagine, have heard of. It's a luxury jewelry brand. Their jewelry is pretty expensive. In fact, the specific piece of jewelry we're talking about today is this bracelet right here. It's like a Van Cleef 5 motif bracelet, gold bracelet, currently on sale for £5,950, which is like just under 8,000 USD, I believe. So yeah, a lot more than I would personally spend on a bracelet, to say the least, right? This is an expensive brand. So Monica recently bought this bracelet, and then this is where this series of videos started. Now, the first one was kind of vague, right? It's just a video of her putting on the bracelet, buying the bracelet from the store, and there's some text on screen that says, she doesn't know it yet, but this is where she found out that the bracelet isn't the only thing that lost its shine. So did her trust in the Van Cleef luxury brand and their service. Okay, so clearly from that video, something negative has happened here, but we still don't really know what's going on. And this is where Monica actually uploads a video that's on over 6 million views at this point.
Let me de-influence you and tell you not to purchase anything from Van Cleef. So I purchased this 5 motif bracelet, and within 2 months, it started rusting and tarnishing to this right here. Mind you, this is an 18 karat yellow gold. It should not be tarnishing. So they cleaned it 2 times with the ultrasonic jewelry cleaner in store, and then they shipped it off to New York City to get it professionally polished. I received it back yesterday from getting professionally polished. When I voiced my concern that I could still see the tarnish, the manager of the store had the audacity to make me feel as if I'm blind.
Okay, so we get the point, right? She's ordered this bracelet after 2 months of wearing this incredibly expensive bracelet. It looks like it's tarnished, right? It kind of looks like it's rusting. I mean, from this picture, you can clearly see that something's going on here. It genuinely does look like rust, right? It looks like if you left your bicycle out in the rain for a few days and then the fucking steel starts rusting. That's what it looks like, except this is a gold bracelet that's very expensive. So yeah, when some people see this, they might think, oh, it's only like a little thing, right? It's only little marks on this, but then you've got to remember the amount of money that was spent on this. It's supposed to be a solid gold bracelet, right? We get into a lot of that later on. And at the end of the day, if you're spending $8,000 on something, you don't want it to look like this after only a couple of months. And as we also heard, Monica said she took the bracelet to the store to see like what they would say, what they could do about it. Apparently the general manager just was kind of saying like there's nothing wrong with the bracelet, and Monica even shows a video where the general manager again is saying, oh, there's nothing wrong with the bracelet, it's just a shadow in the store. And there was another worker who said that they could see the rusting, but then the general manager saying to the other worker, oh no, it's just a shadow, kind of like gaslighting him, as Monica says.
So if you're looking here, you're actually to your skin, because I mean, look from here, there's no discoloration. So when you're holding your loop and you're looking here, that's your finger reflection in it. I don't see it,
yeah,
but if you guys...
It's not as obvious now. So.
Yeah. Because, I mean, when you're looking at it, it's like a reflect, it's like a mirror.
You could tell that she was higher up and she had more authority, and he was scared to voice his concern. He's over there looking at it, and she's telling him that he's looking at his shadow. And I feel like that's what like started annoying me even more, because it's like, we both see it. You're just trying to pretend that you do not see it.
Yeah, I mean, from what we're seeing here, from the pictures we're seeing, that just simply isn't true, right? It clearly isn't just a shadow of a finger when you're looking over it. I mean, again, if we look back at this picture, there's no shadow here, right? That is clearly like tarnishing, or there's clearly something wrong with the bracelet here, as you can see. Now, obviously, if you buy an expensive item like this, we're talking between $7,000 and $8,000 looks to be the general price we're talking about here. You would expect that if something went wrong with it so quickly after 2 months of wearing it, they would do something about it, right? Now, at this point, Monica's already sent it off to get professionally polished from Van Cleef. It's been sent back. It still has the marks in it, right? So the solution clearly isn't getting it polished or whatnot. So surely at this point, you would think that the solution would be that specific part of the bracelet, as I believe it was only kind of like one part that was damaged, should be replaced. But Monica goes on to say that the only option she was given here was to pay $180 to get professionally polished, which she's already done, or to buy a new piece for the bracelet.
So the manager gave me 2 options. Either I pay $180 for me to ship this bracelet back to New York City to get it professionally polished, which, why would I do that? Because it just came back professionally polished and it looks like this. Or the second option was I could pay out of pocket to get this motif replaced. Clearly, it's something wrong with the jewelry. Like, what is going on with the metal?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how much a single, like, motif would be. Obviously, with the bracelet being around £6,000. One piece, it's going to be pretty expensive. And Monica ends this video by basically saying that she expected more from Van Cleef in this situation.
This on for over 5 years. They do not stand behind their pieces. They will not fix their products, even if it starts tarnishing within 2 months. And for it to be Van Cleef, which is a huge luxury store, I just expected a lot more better customer service, a lot better craftsmanship than this. It still came back looking tarnished. And also, the manager just making me feel like I couldn't see it made it even worse.
Now at this point, because this video went viral, right, all of Van Cleef's socials have just been filled with comments about this situation. I mean, if we go to the most recent post on TikTok on the Van Cleef page, all the comments are saying stuff like, feeling cute might tarnish later. Real gold doesn't tarnish, even if it's 18k. Thanks to Monica, I will never buy anything from you. She saved us a lot of money. I came for the comments. I knew they'd be here. Y'all better replace that girl's bracelet. You've seen the power of TikTok. They're not going to stop. I can't believe Monica was treated so poorly. The associate needs to be let go. To be rude and to gaslight when you're spending this kind of money is unacceptable. Now, literally every single comment that I can see on this video is about the situation and are very similar to what we've read. But this isn't the end of the situation because Monica has uploaded quite a few videos talking about this since, right? So this next video, Monica's talking about how she's rang up like customer service to see what they can do about it, and she is told that there's no warranty.
And what the lady on the phone said, the customer service agent said, is that there is no warranty on these bracelets or any jewelry pieces besides watches. So if this were to tarnish, if this were to fade or rust after the 30-day window, you can't return it. She basically told me that it's all up to the boutique and what they want to do, which I already know what they want to do. Kathy told me that, you know, I only had those two options either.
Yeah, I mean, look, right, I've never really bought like an expensive piece of jewelry before, but the fact that you can spend £6,000 or like $8,000 around there on jewelry and have zero warranty sounds insane to me. Like, to me, that should be part of the service that warrants that price, right? Like, you're paying such a high price, you're not only expecting like an expensive item like the bracelet, but the service provided as well, like a warranty, for example. Now in this video, we also see another clip of the general manager that we saw earlier saying that there's no discoloration on the bracelet.
There's no discoloration. That's your finger reflection in it.
I mean, you can see her kind of like smiling and laughing about it. Like, I don't know, maybe she is like genuinely convinced that it is just a reflection, or she's just lying, because clearly it's not just a shadow, right? Now, a lot of other people have made videos kind of talking about the situation. There was one in particular that was posted by Jean-Paul Xavier, I believe it's pronounced, who believed that this bracelet was actually just gold-plated.
Really shouldn't say what I think this is. Hi, if you don't know me, I'm Jean-Paul. I've done fine jewelry manufacturing for well over 15 years for brands that you probably know, like David Yurman. I've done contract work for Tiffany & Co. I know producing fine jewelry, and this is plating. This is the peeling effect that you get from a poor job of plating gold onto a substrate.
And in fact, a bunch of people started leaving comments saying that they believe the bracelet is fake, right? So at this point, Monica actually takes it to somewhere you can get it tested to see like if it is gold plated or it is solid gold, just to see what's going on here.
So I'm on my way to the jewelry store to get my bracelet from Van Cleef tested to see if this is actually really gold. I was reading the comments and some people are thinking that my bracelet is fake, like fake gold or like plated gold. So I booked an appointment, and this jewelry store that I'm going to is actually going to test it with this machine. It's called the XRF machine.
And then the bracelet ends up getting tested. In the next video, we see the results, and it turns out it's not actually gold plated.
So this is the XRF machine. So when it tests your piece, it'll tell us exactly what percentage of each alloy is in your piece. Yeah, it does come up as 18 karat, which is very good. This is going to be AU is the gold, so that's the percentage of the gold in there. And then you have a little bit of silver, a little bit of copper in there.
Okay, so it's not gold plated.
Nope, not gold plated.
Yeah, so as you'd expect, it is actually gold. It would be crazy if like the conclusion of this was genuinely that Van Cleef is selling a bracelet that says solid gold, turns out it's just gold plated, because surely like that would come out, right? Someone would end up testing it. So what it seems like has happened here is Van Cleef have just sold like a faulty product, I guess, right? A product that has only lasted 2 months before it started tarnishing. Now it's important to note here that JPX Jewelry did end up uploading another video kind of like taking back what he said about the gold plating.
I have to apologize to Van Cleef. My sincerest apologies. I was wrong, and to Monica, about what I thought was plating on a Van Cleef guilloche bracelet. She bought this bracelet and had this kind of unfortunate experience with this discoloring, and we didn't know what it was. And I judged based off the picture, and I am eating the most humble pie right now. This is most likely tarnished.
Now, at this point, we then see this text message that Monica had sent after she received the bracelet back after being professionally polished, realized that it hasn't solved the problem at all. And she sent this message here that says, I appreciate your efforts in polishing it for me, but after seeing it in daylight, I can't ignore the discoloration. Unfortunately, your sales representative didn't seem very understanding and made me feel like I was imagining things. So the sales representative she's talking about here is the general manager that we saw in that video, but at the time of this message, didn't know that it was the general manager. It becomes very clear in just a second that it was a general manager, as we'll hear. But the text carries on and says, the blemish makes it appear fake, and I'll be sharing my experience with others to prevent them from facing the same issue. Now, in reply to this, apparently, like, it was a minute after the person had seen this message, that this is what Monica says, she actually received a call and they'd left a voicemail, and it was from the general manager from a video we spoke about earlier, who wanted to clarify that she is the general manager.
Hi, Monica. This is Kathy Van Cleef and our pals. You were just in our boutique a little while ago. Gordon showed me the message, and I just wanted to kind of clear up something. I'm the manager of the store.
She called me just to let me know that she's the manager of the store, because everything else that she said in the message, she just told it to me like 2 minutes ago when I was in store in person. So I was thinking that was just so petty of her. She was being really rude.
So you can see the timeline of things happening here, right? Monica keeps uploading these updates of things that's happening, and quite frankly, nothing's really happening, right? She's not really getting any solution that she's happy with. And these videos just keep going more and more viral, and Van Cleef are getting more and more backlash across all their social medias. And then after a week of this all playing out and the backlash getting more and more, I guess it got too much for Van Cleef, and they wanted to do something about it. So they ended up giving a solution that if they did give at the beginning, quite frankly, this situation wouldn't really be a situation, right? But the solution now is that they've, well, first of all, wanted to offer a replacement. Monica doesn't even want the bracelet anymore at this point, so now they're going to offer a refund.
What I got off the phone call was that they're very sorry about what happened with my piece, and that she wanted to offer me a replacement for my bracelet, but I let her know that I don't even want the bracelet anymore. After all of this that happened, when I look at the bracelet, all I think about is the terrible customer service. If my bracelet's going to tarnish, that they're not going to do anything about it. And yeah, so she's offering me a refund, which they normally don't offer refunds to their clients. But for me, they're making an exception.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fair to say that this is obviously because the situation has went viral. I mean, again, I am just kind of assuming here, right? But I'm assuming if this situation wasn't a viral situation, it was just someone complaining about the product that they got because it was tarnished, I feel like the solution maybe wouldn't have been the same. I mean, we've kind of seen what the solution would have been, right? Because before these videos went viral, we saw what the options were. Now, on top of offering a refund, Van Cleef actually sent out a few presents to Monica to apologize, right? And I found this video slightly funny, I can't lie. When we see the final present, you'll see what I mean in just a second. But I guess it was some flowers. There was also like a card saying sorry.
I'm honestly just as shocked as you guys are. I honestly was not expecting any gifts, but here we are. We have a bag of, I don't know what it is, but it's really heavy. I also have this beautiful orchid plant. There's the card. Maybe we have an apology letter from Kathy in this card. So you guys are seeing this first. Dear Monica, thank you for sharing your experience with us. We genuinely appreciate the valuable feedback you've provided about our brand. Please accept our sincerest apologies, and we look forward to welcome you again in the future. Sincerely, Nancy, which is the regional director, the one that I was on the phone call with, Kathy, and the Ala Moana team.
Yeah, so you heard the names of who this is from, right? So Nancy is the person who's kind of actually give this solution that Monica is happy with. Monica spoke quite highly of Nancy throughout this. Kathy is the general manager who we heard the voicemail from and saw in the video as well, and in the store. Now, on top of the card, Van Cleef also sent a present to Monica. Now, Monica did upload a video before this, kind of just showing that she'd received something but didn't know what it was. A lot of the comments were very curious to see what was in the bag, right? I guess a lot of people thought it might be a piece of jewelry. It wasn't. And in fact, the present itself, I'm not sure what the intentions were, but it does kind of come across as a little bit shady, I can't lie.
Much Nancy for sending this over. Okay, so let's open it up and see what it is. This is beautiful packaging. They literally... This is honestly so funny. Now that I'm reading it, I don't know if they're sending this over to me to try to educate me on their Van Cleef pieces, because when I look at it, it's basically like the process, I think, of Van Cleef and how they make their jewelry. It shows you, it literally shows you the process of how to craft the freaking motif. Wow. Okay. Well,
Yeah, so again, I'm not sure if this was the intentions, right? But they have sent a book to Monica as like a sorry, which is literally just like a book showing how they make their bracelets and how they make that bracelet specifically. Like again, I don't know the intentions, but it kind of does come across as like, excuse me, like look at the effort we put into this, okay? We're not just some shitty brand like you're making us seem like we are. So yeah, it's just a weird choice for a present. I'm not sure what the intentions were, but it's a book about how they make their bracelets. Now looking at the comments in this video, we got comments like this one saying, so I looked up the book and it's worth maybe $25 to $35. Another comment here saying, this would annoy me, a book. I know you didn't want a replacement, but they could have sent you another piece of jewelry. One comment here with 23,000 likes, it says, why do I feel insulted? A refund and a lecture, that's not remorse, that's PR damage control dressed up as elegance. The shade is loud. And then there's a comment here saying, Kathy signed that as soon as she saw how passive aggressive the book was. Like, oh yeah, I will say sorry, in fact. And then again, more comments like this one saying, this made it worse. A book is diabolical. They were better off sending nothing. It feels passive aggressive to me. And just a bunch more comments like that, right? People clearly aren't very impressed with the book. But that is the situation. And I think it's fair to say the brand Van Cleef hasn't really handled this situation all that well, because I think it's been clear from the beginning that the bracelet shouldn't look like that after 2 months of wearing it. And especially when you consider how much it cost. Again, in my eyes, if you're spending so much on a product, right, especially from the brand itself, you're not just buying that because of the product itself. It's the service with it, right? The warranty included as well. And it just seems like none of that was there. Well, I mean, the warranty quite literally wasn't there, right? Which is incredibly baffling to me. But either way, that is all the information we have at this point. I would love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below on everything that we spoke about in today's video. If you did enjoy, leave a like, subscribe, all that stuff. And until the next one, I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, goodbye.